boys were filmed by a girl in the boys' school locker room. The school punished the boys. What's up? How we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. That's what we're going to talk about today. So two boys were filmed in the boys' locker room by a girl, and the boys got in trouble for it. It's the kind of world we live in, people. That's the kind of world we're starting to live in, and it's kind of ridiculous. But let's read on. This is an article coming from The Blaze. So, a transvestite reportedly filmed the students in the boys' locker room. The boys she made uncomfortable were suspended. Now, seriously, how does that work out? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, a female student identifying as a male reportedly began frequenting the boys' locker room at Loudoun County Public School, Stonebridge High School over the past year. She was able to do so because of Policy 8040. This policy, which was approved by the school board a few months after a male student wearing a skirt raped a female student in a Stonebridge High School girls' restroom, requires schools to allow students to use the facility that corresponds with their consistently asserted gender identity. No, they need to use the bathroom that they were originally born in, not whatever they think they are. This isn't pretend. This isn't make-believe, people. This is real life. This isn't make-believe. I don't pretend I'm a girl. No, you're a boy. You're a girl. You're not what you think you are. You are what you are. And this is what the left is like. They're pushing make-believe and pretend. They're pushing this narrative onto people, and they're brainwashing them to make people think that this kind of behavior is okay. It should terrify every single parent. Yeah, it does. It terrifies every single parent because, my girls are getting homeschooled now. Not necessarily because of this, but this is a good reason, because boys are welcome and encouraged to go in girls' bathrooms and locker rooms lately. It's like, no, if I would probably end up going to prison if a man followed my one of my daughters into a restroom. I don't care what it's for. I would probably end up going to jail anyway, because I would go in there and I would make him wish he never did that. Because this is not right. You're not just because you're in La La Land, make believe palace, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean that's reality. Following a gym class at Stonebridge High in March, the girl pretending to be a boy once again took advantage of the policy, but this time videotaped three boys in the locker room who were discussing their discomfort over her presence. While taking videos or photographs in the locker room is a violation of district policy, LCPS apparently was more interested in making an example out of the two boys over their discomfort with the gender policy. This is just ridiculous. This is just taking a picture of them, taking videos of them, making them uncomfortable, and then they get suspended for it. No, this girl that's pretending, that's playing make-believe, that's in some fantasy world, needs to be held accountable, not the boys. The district launched Title IX investigation into the two boys in a Christian student and Muslim student for supposed sexual harassment. Wait, hold on. The district launched a Title IX investigation into two of the boys, a Christian student and a Muslim student, for supposed sexual harassment. Wait, what? They got in trouble for sexual harassment when she was the one recording them? And they're talking about how uncomfortable they are? WJLA TV reported this week that LCPS has concluded its investigation and decided to turn the boys' lives upside down. Hang on just a second. I gotta plug in or I might die. Well, I still got some life left, but I gotta plug in. It's getting kind of low, but John Hetzler, an attorney who represents the boys' family, told WJLA that LCPS Title IX office determined that the two boys are responsible for sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination. I think they got their accused people, their victims, in the wrong order. You know, boys can be victims of sexual harassment too. I mean, they can. It doesn't happen as often. I mean, most of the time it's the way they're saying it is, but it doesn't sound like that's the way it went down. Okay. The two boys are responsible for sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination for daring to express discomfort with an interloper in a place that the Trump administration has made clear must be sex segregated. The boys were notified that they will also be suspended for 10 days and slapped with a no contact order with the cross-dressing girl. I would be okay with that, because obviously I don't want to have contact with that person anymore, but why are they punishing the boys for this? That's what I don't understand, is why in the heck are they punishing the boys for this? Hetzler indicated that the boys are also required to develop a corrective action plan with the school administrators. For filming the boys in the boys' locker room, the girl will be reportedly receiving only a brief in-school suspension. This is like totally backwards. Like this is the world we live in, and it didn't say where this was from, but I'm guessing it's somewhere like California. It did say WJLA, so I don't know if that means Los Angeles or what, or Louisiana or something. But this is like this is what we're allowing. This is what the left is pushing. This is the left is like, they're celebrating this crap. It's ridiculous. The boys are getting in trouble for getting videotaped in the locker room. And the girl, not the girl that's playing make-believe, just got a little like a slap on the wrist. Like, yeah, this is why we voted the way we voted, because we need change. This is ridiculous. This is not, yeah. If something were to happen like that, if I were to be involved in something like that, luckily I don't live in quite the wokeness of a state, but what they're doing to our children is just despicable. That's a good word for it. It's despicable. And I think in some ways the parent of this girl, obviously is a single parent most likely, needs to be held accountable as well for teaching their kid this. That's not a healthy parent teaching a kid like to do this stuff. Kids need to just be kids. They need to be who they are, not who they're being told they should be or something, because it's the thing to do. When pressed for comment, LCPS spokesperson told The Blaze it is the general practice of LCPS not to publicly discuss private student matters. I can state that the division has a comprehensive and objective process for Title IX investigations. The LCPS Superintendent Aaron Spence did not respond to the Blaze request for comment by by Deadline. I would say the first reaction was some anger because we're really concerned with all the staff. Seth Wolf, one of the parents, told WJLA, "We're saddened by the decision making process and how that went." Renee Smith, another parent, said, "We're absolutely floored that they came back and branded my son responsible for sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination with no solid evidence whatsoever." No, they have no solid evidence of that other than the girl was recording them. The girl was recording them. The girl should be in trouble. We're talking about scaring him for life by a biased process that's supposed to protect fairness, but it's shocking, it's wrong, and it should terrify every single parent, added Smith. Smith has reportedly pulled her son out of the woke district and left Virginia. Oh, so in Virginia. I thought Virginia was... I mean, Virginia's got some wokeness there. I mean, they're still... Yeah, I'd be doing some suing on something there because they obviously got no evidence for this, and I don't know, both parents suspect that LCPS made examples of their boys to get everyone else in line. They're going to have to follow that Loudoun County they're going to have to follow what Loudoun County says, what they believe is right, and what goes against other people's beliefs or what we believe is right, said Wolf. Smith noted, "What they're doing to our children is just despicable." LCPS wasn't the only organization investigating potential Title IX violations. The Education Department's Office for Civil Rights determined last month that the LCPS violated Title IX of the Education Amendment of the 1972 by maintaining the gender policy. LCPS was given until August 15th to change it. So they've already been in trouble for violating the Education's amendment of. The investigation reveals a disturbing miscue of authority by Loudoun County Public Schools. Although this type of behavior was tolerated by the previous administration, it's time for Northern Virginia's experiment with radical gender ideology and unlawful discrimination to come to an end. And acting Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights, acting Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights, Craig Traynor. Last week, the school board voted 6-3 to defy the federal government and keep policy 80-40 in effect. So 6-3 to defy the federal government. They voted 6-3. The school board voted 6. I think there's a school board that needs to be shut down. Shut them down. Because you're only making yourself worse. Because you're only making people more and more against you. This defiance is par for the course. Superintendent Spence notified the Trump administration in March that LCPS would not submit a certification affirming that the district allows federal anti-discrimination laws and regulations prohibiting discrimination based on race. It's not really based on race, but it's based on gender, but it's kind of the same thing. It's still discrimination. It's still... At Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's request, Virginia Attorney General Jason Miraz investigated the district's treatment of the boys. The investigation reveals a disturbing miscue of authority by Loudoun County Public Schools, where students appear to have been targeted not for misconduct, but for expressing their discomfort for being forced to share a locker room with a member of the opposite sex. See, it's just the same thing. Girls don't want boys in their locker room. If this was a boy recording the girls, that boy would be in prison. You can assure that he would be locked up for a long time if a boy was recording the girls in the girls' locker room. Miyares referred the matter to the U.S. Department of Education and the Department of Justice. That's the article. Hopefully, something gets done about this because this is a joke and it's getting worse and worse. And people just think it's okay. That's the problem. Is you guys are victimizing the criminals and criminalizing the victims. That's what you on the left are doing. You're like the girl who was videotaping is somehow the victim for them saying that we don't like this. We don't like that there's a girl in our locker room. Now, oh, boys, you're getting suspended for that one. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's the video. Keep your head on a swivel. The world, obviously, you can see the world's getting crazy. We need to keep our head on a swivel. There's stuff happening every single day. I mean, every day. There's stabbings, there's shootings, there's misconduct, there's something going on every day. It's just happening more and more. And keep yourself armed, protected. Keep yourself aware. Have awareness and know your surroundings. And it's very important that we protect ourselves and those that we love. But anyway, that's the show for today. Do the YouTube stuff if you feel like it. Links below for ways to support the channel. And love you. See you in the next one.